It's Wednesday, July 25th. Welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. You know, this shooting in Colorado here in the United States at the movie theater has really got a lot of people talking, and rightly so. A gunman, guy that was in his doctorate program at the university, went in for no reason and started shooting everyone. People were killed and many people were injured, and some will carry those injuries for the rest of their lives. What makes a person do that? But basically, what's our response to that? Well, they showed him on television yesterday, and he had these strange eyes. He looked like he was on some kind of drugs. And one of the comments was he looked demon possessed. And who knows where he's at. But you know, some of the comments that I heard from Christians really kind of disturbed me, and I want to talk about that for a minute. One person said, "I hope he burns in hell." A Christian. In fact, a whole lot of Christians have already decided that that's where he needs to go. And you know, when you look at the guy and you know what he's done, the horrendous crime that he's committed, you know, you think, wow, he really deserves to pay for that. And in essence, he'll probably get the death penalty. I would be surprised if he didn't. But the thing that disturbs me, folks, is all of the Christians rooting it on, beginning to say things like, I hope he burns in hell. He doesn't deserve anything good. You know, he needs to die. All of those things, because folks, there's something wrong with our heart when we make quick judgments like that. You know, I have to be honest with you, when I watched him in the courtroom, at first I had some negative feelings about him, obviously. That this is the guy that killed all of those people. And as I watched him more and more, I started to feel for him. Here's a guy that's confused. He's obviously confused. And he's a guy that really needs the Lord. And honestly, I hope he finds him, because I don't want him to go to hell. But I want to talk about that for a minute, folks. I feel like there is something intrinsically wrong with our faith when we can say, wow, I hope that guy rots in hell. And it seems to kind of be the way that Christians are cheerleading these days. We feel like we have that kind of judgment with people, and it's okay to say he needs to rot in hell. Now, I understand why some people say that, but I don't understand when someone has the love of Christ in them and says he needs to rot in hell. Do you know, folks, that you need to rot in hell as well? We all deserve it. It's because of Jesus' death on the cross that you and I are forgiven and going to heaven. You don't deserve it. And when we make that kind of statement that he needs to rot in hell, what we're really saying is he deserves to rot in hell and I deserve not to. That's not the truth. You know, I wonder what this world would be like, honestly, if all of the Christians in it would honestly begin to love with agape, Christ's love. I wonder what the world would feel like if we began to treat them well and lovingly, instead of judging them. And here's the questions that I have for you today. When people meet you, do they see the love of Christ, or do they see your judgment on them? Do they see the us versus them mentality that a lot of Christians have? Or do they feel comfortable with you just being a simple person who loves the Lord? Do they ask you again about the hope that you have within you because they see hope and love? Or do they just dismiss you as another one of those fanatical Christians? You see, it doesn't have to be that way. I've had people say, you know, folks reject me wherever I go. And I'm thinking, wow, I totally understand why. You know, you're judgmental, you're sarcastic, you're not a fun person to be around, why would anybody want what you have? But you know, the love doesn't come from us. All of us, in our original state, before Christ got a hold of us, would say, "Well, that guy needs to burn in hell." We'd all be judgmental. But you know, when God gets a hold of us, something new happens. The Holy Spirit comes inside of us and begins to produce love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Wow. The gifts of the Spirit. And the gifts of the Spirit, folks, don't condemn someone to hell. The gifts of the Spirit loves everyone and says, wow, I really hope that guy finds Christ, because that's what he needs. God bless you. Have a great day.